Hello. Now, because I'm crazy, because I have a little time for my lunch break, instead of eating like a healthy person, I'm here making content for my audience of just me. But really, honestly, this just helps me organize my thoughts. So if you can see the title of the video, you kind of know. But basically, I got to level 69 on every job. It was a lot of work. It took a lot of time. It didn't have to be a lot of work. I just made it a lot of work because I rushed. I rushed it pretty hard. I was doing my dailies like every day. The reason being is I don't want to get left behind, because I play this game with some friends and, we're all new. Well, most of us are new. 5 out of the 6 of us are new, and we're making our way through the game, and I didn't want to get left behind. But I also wanted to achieve this, so while people are pushing past 69 and doing later content, I'm like, hey, I want to get all to 69. So I have to rush it to stay on track a little bit. And I say that, I'm actually probably the third farthest in. So I'm by no means trying to catch up, but I don't know. I just wanted to do it, and so I pushed really hard. Yeah, and now it's done, and I'm riding that high. But regardless, now I feel like I know a good bit about all the jobs. I played them all a decent bit. Some less than others, especially like Dancer, because you start at 60. I like Samurai, because you start at 50. If you start at 50, it's not quite as much, but I played them all a good bit, and I feel like I want to rate them on how much I like them. It's partially because I just think it'd be interesting and fun. I think it's also partially just for me to sort of organize my thoughts and to help me pick which jobs I'm going to continue to play going forward, because I don't really plan. I want to get them all to 70 because I'm already so close, and then do the job quests, just experience that. Then I want to do another tier list on the job quests, rating the job quests, specifically on the quests, not the gameplay of the job, but the job quests, the story and stuff. But that is for later. For now, I don't think I can keep playing every job through every expansion and getting them all to that high level. I can, and I would enjoy it, and I like it. I like doing it, but it does require me to do my dailies pretty consistently, and the dailies come in at an hour and a half, depending on how many of them you do every day, depending on the group you get, the content you roll in the roulette. So it's realistically, there's just other things I can do. I could play the game a little bit more casually if I focus on... My plan is to focus on between 3 and 6 jobs, which seems like that's still a lot. It's not like I'm... But it's a lot less than 17 or whatever the total is, right? It's 11 plus... yeah, and that's not even counting the ones I haven't unlocked yet. I think it's 21 or something. It's 8, 11, 14... Okay, it's 18. Plus there's 4 more that I haven't unlocked. So it's 22 jobs. 21 not counting Blue Mage, because Blue Mage is a bit of a special case. So yeah. Doing 6 of them is a lot less. Is kind of my point. And there are 6 roles. There's 5 roles. So if I do 6 of them, then I can cover all the roles as well, which is nice. Although I like the idea of specializing in a role a little bit more than trying to cover all of them, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. What we want to do is just rank them. How do we feel about them? How do we feel about playing them so far? What do we want to play more? And so I don't know what I'm going to be judging it based on. It's just going to be vibes. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list. Oh, I'm not going to talk about... The crafters aren't on this tier list, but I'd like to do them too, because I think I might pick a crafter or two. The thing about crafting, though, is that it makes more sense to do them all together, because they feed each other so much. Overall, the crafting in this game it's really good. It's enjoyable, but I think it represents a time sink that I'm not, for the time being, wanting to commit to. And I think that's partially because I just came off of a weekend where I basically got these guys from low 50s, like high 40s, low 50s, all the way to 69 in the course of like 3 days. So, yeah, I'm a little burnt on them right now. But let's get into the tier list. Let's do the content we're here to do. You have S, A, B, C. I didn't really feel like I needed a D tier, but I have a didn't play. Yeah, and so we'll just start. Let's just do the order they're here. So Scholar's first. Scholar is... I'll talk about some pros and some cons. The pros of Scholar, like, it's a shield healer. It's the only shield healer I played because I didn't play Sage. And shield healing is really interesting. If you know the content and you're like, you're familiar with it and you like to like learn it and learn the patterns, shield healing feels amazing because you can kind of just mitigate, you can mitigate preemptively. So when something's going to go wrong, you can stop it from going wrong in the first place, which in my opinion feels a lot better than playing a regular healer where the damage just kind of happens and you recover. Because rather than... excuse me, it's basically preventative care, right? Which is better than treating the disease, right? Is to prevent it from happening in the first place, right? So that feels a lot better. Now it is harder because, to recover from damage, you don't really need to know what's coming. All you need to know is, oh, these people got damaged, let me remove it. Scholar, you kind of have to, it's a little bit less reactive and a little bit more proactive. So I really like that gameplay. As a healer, I think I prefer it on like a good day. Like when I'm feeling like I want to be engaged and challenged, and I think putting the time in to Scholars would be really rewarding because of like how powerful the shields are. The pet management is wonky. It doesn't feel great. Like that's the pros. The cons, obviously, like if you don't know what's coming and you're doing something fresh and new for the first time, which will be the experience many times. It's definitely going to be the experience a lot of the time for me as a new player, right? It's hard because, you're not as good as doing disaster recovery and you don't know what's coming. So how are you going to shield it, right? So I think it's going to be hard to first time do stuff on Scholar. I think also... I am typically the kind of player that likes to look stuff up if it's like an extreme or whatever. So like I'll probably be okay, but it's definitely like a con is that you can't do it like fresh faced. And the other thing, I started to get into it a moment ago, but it's just the pets. Like the pet management is just wonky. Like placing it, moving it, making sure you summon it. Every time you die, you have to re-summon it. It's a pain. It's really a pain. Like if you die on Scholar, it's so punishing because you have to then, when you get up, you have to spend time summoning the pet. And honestly, it just feels like a tax you have to pay, like press this one extra button. I know that like a good Scholar, you need to place, like pet placement, it does matter, but it just feels like, I don't know. I don't think it's that engaging. It feels like more of a burden than like something that, because the rewards for doing it right are small and the punishment for doing it wrong is pretty large. So it just overall feels like more of a burden than like something that's fun and engaging. That's like the biggest downside of Scholar for me. I love shield healing. I also thematically, I really like Scholar. Like this battlefield tactician type character is like one of my favorite, just like in terms of job concept. Like, I know it doesn't sound cool because you're like a nerd or whatever. You're not like the edgy Dark Knight. You're not the ninja, you know. You're not like this powerful warrior. You're like a guy who reads books. But personally, I like it. I'm a big fan, actually. I like the design. So all that comes together. I think Scholar, also because it's the only shield healer I played, and I like shield healing, I'm going to put it pretty high. I think I'm going to put it in S. The pet management is annoying, but it's not enough to detract from how much I like all the other stuff. Okay. Dark Knight. Dark Knight has pros and cons too. I mean, I'm just going to get it out ahead of time before I go through all the tanks. The tanks aren't that different to me. Like, they are different, but they don't feel massively different. And Dark Knight especially and Warrior are like, feel pretty samey. And even Gunbreaker doesn't distinguish itself that much. The only tank that, like, the Warrior and the Paladin feel more like different almost in a way than like Dark Knight and Gunbreaker. I mean, Dark Knight and Gunbreaker just feel weird. Like, I don't understand what their identity is, especially Dark Knight. Like, what is the identity of this? I don't know. Like, you spend mana to attack, but you're not the damage tank, because Gunbreaker does more damage, I think. And you're not like better in AoE. You're like burstier. You're definitely burstier than the other tanks. Like, but Warrior's super bursty too. So it's like, I don't understand what Dark Knight is going for. Like, what is it supposed to... What is the niche that it's supposed to fill? Is not super clear. Like, it's mostly an aesthetic. It's just like a warrior, but with like a different aesthetic. Not quite as much self-healing. I guess it's like... I mean, I guess it could have an identity as something like between a warrior and a paladin, where it's like you have some self-healing and some mitigation, but you're not all in mitigation and you're not all in self-healing. So I could see it like fitting that niche, but like overall, it just didn't scream to me like it has some specific identity. The MP management feels not amazing. Like, you run out of MP really fast if you don't use it, or if you try to use it quickly, and then it's really hard to get it back. So you kind of want to just use it every once in a while, and it just feels like a cooldown with extra steps. Like, I guess, yeah, you have the flexibility to like smash it out and do a big damage all at once, which is, yeah, it's better. It's different than a cooldown, but like, it doesn't do that much damage. There's not a lot of reasons where you would want to do that. And keeping up your darkness is like just kind of annoying, you know. I feel like they could make it somehow more engaging, to like where you had to try to keep it up by using... It's not annoying, actually. It's free. Like, you don't have to do anything. It just kind of stays up. Like, you by pressing all the buttons you normally want to press, you'll just have darkness all the time. The darkness AoE is bad. It's like a line attack, and I hate line attacks. So, I don't like that. But, yeah. Aesthetically, the Dark Knight is like one of my favorites. It's so cool. It's like an iconic Final Fantasy job, going back all the way to like Final Fantasy III. You know, Final Fantasy IV had really cool Dark Knights. Like, you know, Dark Knight's been around and it's been awesome when it was available. Final Fantasy Tactics, it's like the most OP job. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very cool. I'm not ashamed to say I like stuff that's super edgy. You know, I used to shy away. I used to have this edgy enjoyment in my heart that I hid from the world because I didn't want to seem like the edgelord. But it's like, you know what? I am the edgelord. I like being the edgelord. I mean, I'm not edgelord in behavior, but I like edgelord aesthetics. You know, the like little 11, 12-year-old in me that's still like deep down is like, hell yeah. Go be a Dark Knight. It's so edgy. So, and I'm not ashamed of it. So, yeah, I like the Dark Knight a lot, despite like mechanically not being my favorite tank to play. I still think it might end up being my favorite because, like, at the end of the day, like, I think I'd like aesthetics more than mechanics. Like, I can get behind any kind of mechanics. So I'm going to put it at S. Black Mage. Speaking of an aesthetic, I do really like the aesthetic of Black Mage. And I'm going to go against what I just said because I really don't like the mechanics of Black Mage. And, like, although the aesthetic of Black Mage is good, it's not the best. Like, there are better ones to me that I like more than Black Mage. Like, Black Mage is cool. You throw fire. But, like, at the end of the day, on Black Mage, you're just throwing fire over and over again. Okay. I'll talk about the upsides and downsides. I mean, like, upside is Black Mage is... This is like a con and a pro at the same time. It's really complicated, right? Which can be great because it's very engaging. You really have to learn. I feel like you get a lot of value out of practicing it and, like, learning all this stuff. It's not, like, super obvious at all times what you're supposed to do. You get rewarded for standing still, so you're thinking about the battles differently a little bit because you're like, how can I find the place where I can stand still the most? Where are the windows where I can stand still for, 20 seconds so I can use my ley lines? But, like, that challenge is also a con, right? Because if you're not really focused up and you don't know the content that well, it can kind of fall flat. Your AoE rotation is like, I don't know what's happening with it. It's really hard to do much when you're on the run. So there's just a lot of situations where you'll find yourself in as Black Mage where it's difficult to function. You have to be creative and find new ways to, like, make it work. And as I understand it, when you get later levels, that goes away. But we're talking 1 to 60 here, or 1 to 70, 1 to 69, really. And in that area, it's just, there's a lot of low-level stuff where it's Black Mage, or even, like, level 50 stuff, where, like, it's Black Mage, it just feels like, just doesn't feel good, because it's, like, it's really hard to make it work. You'd have to be, like, a specialist. And while that's, like, appealing in a way, like, yeah, if I put in the time in Black Mage, I can make it work. But, like, I don't really want to work that hard just to, and the way the challenge presents itself is, like, it's not like, oh, can I mash all my buttons quickly enough? Can I, like, do the combos really well? It's like, can I puzzle out how to stand in the right way? And it's super punishing if you mess up. It's super punishing. Like, if you mess up and switch to ice at the wrong time, or you lose your... you waste an Umbral Heart. Like, it's just, yeah. Overall, not my favorite. I am gonna put it in C. Monk is, you could do a lot of damage. Your AoE is crazy, and the job is super complex. There's all this stuff happening with Fury and switching forms and getting the Nadi opened and closed, and it's a little overwhelming. The reality is you don't have to know it that well to still, like, be near the top of the damage charts. I'm sure if you do know it well, you'll be rewarded, but if you don't, it's kind of fine. Like, and because you can just press the buttons as they light up, and it's mostly fine. And then you can kind of just, a lot of your abilities are based around ignoring that and just pressing the powerful buttons over and over again. Like, that's what Perfect Balance is all about, and Formless Fist or whatever. And so, like, it's like, it's got all this stuff, and then you just can kind of ignore it, but not really, but also, yeah, you can. And so it's just weird. I love the aesthetic of Monk. Like, punching things is cool, but I actually kind of hate the Monk weapons. Like, I want to just be punching things with my fists. And I get why you have to have weapons in the game. Like, game design, you kind of have to have weapons. But you could have had, like, fist wraps, like, that's cloth, instead of, like, these giant spikes on my fists. It's like, it just feels, like, awful. Like, who does this? Or, like, it could be knuckles without being, like, so spiky. Like, why are they spiky, man? I don't want to like, it's just a dagger that I grip differently. You know, if I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me punch and kick things. Like, I don't know. So I don't really like that aesthetically. It definitely loses some points for me. And ultimately, like, it shouldn't matter that much, but, and I didn't say this about Black Mage, but like in the party, the group that I have, we already have like a Black Mage kind of person, and we already have like a monk person, like people who are playing those more. So it's like, to me, it feels a little less unique. But ultimately, monk's gonna go in B tier because I still think it's better than Black Mage. I do love spamming the AoEs. You can do so much AoE damage. AoE damage matters a lot for me. I think that will come up a lot as we go through the DPSs. Speaking of, we have Bard. Bard is one of my favorites. I had a blast playing Bard. Now, Bard is interesting because it kind of really sucks at like level 50. I hated it for a long time. I played from level 1 to 50, like from Archer to Bard, and it was pretty terrible. By level 50, I was like, yeah, I'm convinced I don't like this job. It's not very good. There's not that much to do. It's kind of boring. Although I love how good it is in AoE, it's overall not for me. But then playing from 50 to 60, I was like, oh, okay, so Bard does have some really fun buttons. I love ranged DPS in general. The freedom you have to move around and still get all your damage just feels great. It just makes it easier. I tend to favor stuff that's easier. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like it easy. I don't like it to be that hard for the most part. I think what I want to do is pick 6 jobs where I pick like 3 jobs that are hard and 3 jobs that are easy. So I have, like, based on how I'm feeling, if I want to turn my brain off or I want to like really sweat, I could pick a job based on that. So, but in terms of like easy jobs that I might want to try, like Bard is up there. It's not the easiest. It's not the easiest by any means, but it's not that hard. And what you do is you also buff the party. I really like the idea that you buff the party. Like, it makes me feel valuable. Like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm helping everyone. So, I love that. But yeah, you get the crazy weaves. You get the crazy AoE damage. It's fun. I like it. Like, thematically, it's a decent aesthetic. I do think they try to like make it make sense that a bard would be an archer and that archers are bards and like all the archers are like singing, and like pulling the string on the bow isn't that much different than like plucking the strings on the harp. And it's just so dumb. Like, it's just dumb. I don't know why they decided to link it. Just let it be like you went from archer to bard. Like, it's fine. I don't know. I think that's stupid. So I don't love the aesthetic in that regard. But overall, Bard is really fun. I like it a lot. I think I'm gonna put it in A. I think I could put it in S. I think it's tough. I'm gonna put it in S for now. Ninja. Talk about an aesthetic that's appealing. I mean, Ninja is one of the ones I played. Actually, with the first DPS I played, I think. Yeah, I think it was the first DPS I actually played. Going from rogue, like the story quests were awesome as a rogue. The ninja ones are kind of okay. I've been leaving that out mostly, but I think it matters here because it affected my impression of it and my attachment to it. I really like ninja. Doing the ninjutsu it's pretty fun. I wish it was actually more complicated than it is. I think it does get a lot more complicated later, so I'm looking forward to that. You're fast, you move around quickly, you can buff the party by like debuffing an enemy, which is cool. It like has that unique aspect to it. The ninjutsu are interesting. You feel kind of like a half caster because you're doing so many like magical type effects with your ninjutsu and with your bar that you consume. So like you still are using your knives a lot, but you're also throwing in a lot of like magical effects. So that's pretty neat. Also, Ninja has been an amazing job in every Final Fantasy game that it's been in, and so like it has that kind of clout with me in my head. Like, Ninja is a good job. I know it's like one of the harder jobs this is a job where, like, you do have to kind of sweat a little bit. But, like, once you get into the rhythm of it, I don't think it's that bad. Of course, I don't know what happens later on. I've heard things. I haven't played it into the later game, but I have heard things about Ninja being very, very difficult as you go to the later levels. But that doesn't make me shy away from it, to be honest. Like, I really like Ninja. And I'm going to stick with, I think I'm going to stick with Ninja. I think it's definitely going to be one of the ones I stick with. So, for that reason, it's an easy S tier. I think it's going to go, I haven't been ordering these. If I was to order them, I think Ninja might actually be the top. And, like, doing Stormblood on it was great, because you get to do so much Ninja stuff, so much stealth, like sneaking around. It's true in the job quest too. I hate to bring up job quests in this because I've been mostly ignoring it as a factor, but like the Ninja job quests are so fun. I can't not bring them up. Like, I don't know. I love Ninja. It's great. Okay, Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker is I don't know what to say about Gunbreaker. I mean, like, I don't know it that well. You start at 60 and and I only played to 69, so I only played 9 levels of Gunbreaker. And I didn't do any job quest for it, so I don't really know what its like identity in the world is supposed to be. I mean, using a gunblade is really cool. So, yeah, that's neat. It didn't distinguish itself from the other tanks to me that much. It's like, I think supposed to be damage. It has like self-healing in the form of regen and like shields. It has a lot of like shields. It's like a shield tank, I guess. But it's not really. I think if it was, it'd be cool, like, to have a shield tank, because you have shield healers. So there's no reason why you couldn't have a shield tank, where, like, maybe you're not that tanky in terms of HP, but you can build all these shields. Like, that would be neat. It's, like, closer to that than the other ones. But it's still not that. So, I don't know, building the cartridges and, like, popping the cartridges feels really nice. Like, but overall it just kind of falls flat. It's kind of like, whatever, dude. I don't know. It's like, it's not the tank I'm going to take on. Like, that's for sure. Of all the tanks, it's probably, maybe not the least likely, because I wasn't a huge fan of Paladin. But I'm not like, Paladin at least, even though it's not my favorite, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's not my favorite, it still has, like, a unique identity. And, like, so it's a cool thing it can do. Whereas Gunbreaker is like, what is my identity? I don't know. It's similar to Dark Knight, but it doesn't have the really cool aesthetic and, like, the legacy, you know, as I've played all the games, so the job having a legacy matters to me. It's like the legacy is just Squall. So, from Final Fantasy VIII, it's like, okay, cool. Like, that's not enough. So I think it's gonna go in C tier for me. I just sorry, Gunbreaker, but you're not it for me. Sage is an easy one. I didn't play it. Okay, Astro's an interesting one. It's the third healer I played, so I had already played White Mage and Scholar, and then when I got to Astro, Astrologian is, like, okay, aesthetically it's pretty awesome. And, like, some of the spells that it has have some of the coolest effects, like, visually. Like, the whole drawing the cards and stuff is neat. It feels like the most powerful healer in many ways. Like, you get to buff the party, which is awesome. You get, like, your healing is super strong. It's, like, easier in some ways to heal than, like, it is to heal on White Mage. Like, because you have lightning speed, you get a quicker res, you're not limited only to swift cast on your res. You can also use it to, like, just get your AoE heals out and stuff, and where you need to move or still heal. You get 2 charges of light speed. It's crazy. Like, and there are situations where, like, light speed can make or break. I've been in situations where light speed is like, if I didn't have light speed here, we would have wiped. Not that usually doesn't happen. It's only when people are playing badly, like, because the stuff I've been doing is not that hard. But still, Like, I like that it has that power level. Like, it's just the best. It's just so good. That being said, it's not about... This list is not about how good they are. It's about how much I like them. And even though, yes, I think it's, like, the best healer, because it heals super well, and buffs the party, and has some shielding, and has, like... And it's cool, visually. It's really just not my favorite healer. Like, I think the legacy stuff does matter. Like, there's not a legacy of Astro. It's not a thing in any other game. Unfortunately, that does matter to me. And then, like, honestly, tossing out the cards is just a little bit... It feels like something I have to do, but I don't love doing it because it's, like... A lot of the cards, like, the one that buffs your own healing, it's like, who cares? Like, why did I even bother to do this just to, like... to optimize by like 6%, you know? And even the damage stuff is kind of like that. Your raid wide is incredible, the damage buff to everyone. Divination, and it looks cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just not for me. I think also because, again, the uniqueness in the group. I like to pick jobs that other people in my personal group haven't picked. And we have 2 Astros already. And, like, it's like, okay, you guys can have the Astro. It's fine. I'll play the other ones because I want to be special. So I'm going to put Astro at A because it's still good. And I like it. But it's not for me. Okay. In terms of, like, the other healers better. Actually, I'll just drop it down to B because... Yeah. No, I can't. It's too strong. I'm going to put it in A. Alright, Blue Mage. Blue Mage is, like, weird. I don't want to talk too much about it. It's weird. It's different. It's fun. I like it. I'll probably keep playing it. Like, I'm not going to not completely stop playing Blue Mage. But you need more people to do it together. Like, do Blue Mage stuff as a group. I'm going to put it in A. Because, like, I'll play it. But I'm not going to focus hard on it. White Mage. White Mage is what I started with. So I'm pretty biased. I thought it was really easy, but I also only did easy content on White Mage. It's simple. You get a lot of healing buttons. I wish there was, like, more to do with it. It also gets the most damage of the healers. Like, I could do a lot of damage on White Mage, I feel. MP management is, like, interesting. But, I mean, it's a classic. I mean, all the way back to Final Fantasy 1. Like, classic, the White Mage. You can say the same about Black Mage, and I still rated it poorly, so... You know, it is what it is. But the thing is, Black Mage, like, even though it's a classic, I don't really like this iteration. White Mage, I think I like this iteration. And so, it feels easy and simple. I'm gonna put it in S. Like, it will probably be one of the healers I play. Because, I don't know. I can't even say it's really for any reason other than that I started with it, so I want to keep playing it. But also, like... It's like simple, right? So, like, Scholar, I talked about how on a shield healer you kind of have to know the content. If you don't know the content, you want to play like a reactive healer instead, well, White Mage is right there for you. It's just solid, it's standard, it's not complicated. It's like the brain off healer. Of all the healers, this is the one where it's like you're not going to need to think as much. And for that reason, I value that a lot, and so that keeps White Mage in S for me. So yeah. Red Mage. Red Mage is one of my favorite aesthetically. I love the idea of being both melee and a caster, like getting in and out. But it's like, funnily enough, I think Ninja actually accomplishes the feeling of that better than Red Mage does, because Red Mage is like you're casting. Oh, I do melee for 2 seconds. Oh, you're casting. So that's kind of annoying. And then, like, it's also very proc heavy. You don't just get to settle into, like, I press 1, then I press 2, then I press 3, and I plan it so that I press this later, and I press this at this time, and I, like, combine that with this. Like, no. It's just, like, suddenly you get a charge of this. You better adapt. Suddenly you get a charge of that. You better adapt. And so you have to constantly, like, adjust to deal with that. Obviously, cool thing about Red Mage is you can heal yourself, you can heal your party, and you can res. So you do end up kind of falling into that Jack of all trades to some extent, but, like, 14 doesn't really have that. I mean, it has it, Red Mage, but like the design of the game is much more like you're supposed to specialize. And so like I don't know. I in 11 it's better because in 11 you're like this buffer who can heal and you can do melee and you can nuke. And it's like you really do everything because you can be support, you can be damage, you can be magic damage, you can be physical damage, you can be healer. You can do everything. In this game, it's like you can kind of heal too, but you're here to do damage. And your melee is like basically non-existent except for on a burst window, so it doesn't quite do it for me. That being said, I love the aesthetic. I love the fact that you can res. I think a red mage can kind of carry. If your healers are struggling, you can definitely help keep the party around in hard stuff. So it's not going to go into C for me, but it is going to fall into B. Okay, Paladin. Paladin is not for me. I do think it's a really solid job. I think as a tank, it's like a mitigation tank. It kind of actually fits similar to Scholar or like shield healers in that if you know the content really well and you use your mitigations at the right times and plan them out, you can really reduce how much damage you take and reduce the damage of your party. So it's like the tank. It truly is like, so like you can cover for allies and you can do all this stuff. So it's really cool. I just think for me personally, it's funny because I like that in a Scholar, but I didn't like it in Paladin. I don't really know why. I can't really explain it. I think it might just have to do with like my mentality around tanking. Although I do like that in Scholar. So it's kind of making me feel like I should push it a little higher. Originally I had intended to put it in like B, but maybe I do want to put it in like A or something like that. Because like that is, I think just when I played it at the time, it felt kind of boring. It's like, okay, so all I get is mitigations. Whereas like the other tanks, you get these flashy damage abilities. The Paladin doesn't really get that. And so I think I felt like I was missing that. Whereas like in Scholar, I didn't feel like I was missing a flashy damage ability because the other healers don't get flashy damage abilities anyway. So it's like, I mean, White Mage gets Holy, but it's like, I don't know. They didn't feel like there was something missing from it. With Paladin, I feel like, I want to Infuriate and do 1 billion damage, or I want to be able to like spam my mana to do a bunch of Dark Blades and do 1 billion damage, or I want to be able to like save my cartridges and then like blow my cartridges and do a bunch of damage. Paladin just like, nah, you don't get that. You're here to mitigate. And you get every once in a while you get big damage with your Goring Blade, but that's one Goring Blade, Warrior's gonna get 3 Fell Cleaves plus extra Fell Cleaves here and there, and like the Fell Cleave with Infuriate or with a Berserk is gonna throw huge numbers on the screen, which is nice. And then for Dark Knight you get a couple of like flashy damage abilities, so not just the one, and they visually look more impressive compared to Goring Blade, which doesn't look that visually impressive, to be honest. So yeah, I think just the aesthetics of Paladin are holding it back for me a little bit, and like not having the flashy big damage thing. But I'll put it in B or A because I do like the gameplay. Actually, I think the gameplay is good. Okay, Machinist. Machinist is like one of my favorites as well. I love the ranged Fizz range. I think the Fizz range is so fun because you get to like just run around while you do everything. Having Peloton alone is like such a boon, both in the raids and outside of them, because you can just use it in the city and go fast, which is really cool. The Machinist job quest really struck a chord with me as well. Like, I mostly am not talking about job quests, but if the job quests were particularly good, where I really liked them, I'll talk about it. And so I'm going to bring that up for Machinist. So yeah, I think they were particularly good. And I just like the way it plays. You do have to do a lot of, like, it does feel like you have to do a lot of planning. Like, you need to sort of have things mapped out in your head, like when this is going to happen and when that's going to happen and how this is going to line up with the other thing, and can you trigger that with this? But it's not random. Like, nothing's random. So it feels like you're kind of in control there. It's similar to Black Mage in that, but the difference between it and Black Mage is, like, it feels way more flexible. Like, you always have tools for the situation, and you do a ton of AoE, like, on the move. So, like, while Black Mage is, like, so... It is also planning heavy, and, like... Black Mage is also random. Like, it has random stuff, even though it's supposed to be planning heavy. So it's, like... I mean, it depends on what level you're at, but still... I think, yeah, Machinist is just cool. Like, also aesthetically, I love it. Like, I like shooting things. I wish that the sound effects were better than they are. The sound design of Machinist is not good. But, like... It's fine. I'm still shooting stuff and blowing things up. So, I'll take it. And, like, yeah, there's not randomness in the planning. And you do hella AoE damage. Like, it's amazing AoE damage. I felt Bard was a little easier. Bard also has... I didn't talk about this much, but Bard is... Even if you're in level... Like, no matter what level of content you roll in your random... dungeon, you'll have, like, buttons to press that are interesting, and that makes a huge difference to me. Like, Black Mage, if you roll this, like, level 3, you know, this, like, level 17 dungeon, Sasasha, man, it's gonna be awful. It's just gonna suck. It's not gonna be fun. But it'll be okay if you're playing, like, Bard. And Machinist is similar. It's like, it's fine. It doesn't feel terrible. It doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel terrible. So I love having the really good AoE, and I love being able to run around, and, like, you get to do a lot of weaves. I love doing weaves. If I can do OTCDs or the weaves, you know, in between my attacks, it makes me feel cool and powerful, and, like, I'm pressing my buttons a lot, and so I feel like it's a skill expression thing, which is fun. So I like that. So I'm going to put Machinist up in S. I think it's one of my favorites. Samurai, is my last one. Samurai just feels kind of slow to me. It is, like, you have to plan it out carefully, but also, like, it's not adaptable. If you have gotten 2 stickers and you want to get a dot out, sucks to suck, bro. You're going to have to, like, smash the AoE, or, you know, go ahead and get your, like, Midari Getsuseke or whatever, and then you get to go back and use your dot. Like, it just feels like you're stuck in this really slow cycle that constantly turns, and, like, there's no getting out of it. There's no ways out. There's no ways to go here or go there. Like, it's not adaptable. You're just, like, doing your circle. You're doing your loop over and over again. Slowly, consistently, easily. You move, get your positionals in. You know, you get a little bit of flexibility when you use the ability that lets you use all of them. I don't remember what it's called. It's basically freedom of movement or whatever from the monk. Or what's it called? God, the samurai, the move names are all just Japanese words, so it's hard to remember what any of them were called. But, I mean, samurai is cool. It's really cool, and the damage is consistent, and it does a lot. Like, I didn't feel like I had to be that good to be near the top of my damage charts in raids when I was playing samurai. So, like, that's cool. It's fun. But it just overall feels like you're just plodding through. You're just plodding through slowly, one move after the other, like, and I just don't like that. Like, if suddenly an AoE situation pops up, what can I do? And, like, honestly, even at level 69, I felt like I had, like, no abilities. It's like, I had, like, no abilities here. Like, what am I get a teleport, and I get, like, a weave, like, one weave on a bar that I can barely ever use. So it's like, whatever, I don't know. At the lower levels, it's just... And then if you go below 50 and you don't even have all of the stickers accessible, oh, it's so awful. So yeah, Samurai goes in B for me. I think it goes bottom of B too. I think it does, yeah. I've been trying to rank these. I should rank these a little more. I think Machinist for me is below Bard, but above White Mage. Yeah, this looks good to me. Viper I didn't play, Picto I didn't play. Warrior is an interesting one. So Warrior, I really like Warrior. I do. It's the one that it's the job I took into like my first extremes and stuff. So, you know, that did, you know, alter my impression of it. But the Warrior just feels good. Like, the rotation is not too complicated. It does require a little bit of planning. And when you smash the, like, big high damage buttons, it feels really awesome. If you mess up, it kind of sucks. But it doesn't suck that bad. Like, you're still going to do a lot of damage if you berserk in, like, the slightly wrong way. It's like, whatever. And you have such nice abilities. Like, Holmgang is awesome, and it's on a pretty low cooldown compared to the other invulnerabilities. So that rules. And then the ability, the, like, Vengeance thing ability that you have, where you do damage back, like, based on getting hit, it just feels so good. Like, pulling huge pulls on Warrior is better than pulling huge pulls on any other tank. Like, it just is. It just feels so cool. And then when you use your Berserk and you smash like a huge AoE damage on them, like, and you crit every single one, oh man, oh boy, that's some dopamine right there. The Warrior is good. Warrior is so good. I wasn't even planning to put Warrior this high, but as I talk about it, I'm like, damn. Warrior rules. I think it's gonna go above. Does it go above Dark Knight? I think it's just. Oh man, it's. I think I want to drop Scholar here. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna do this. Like Ninja, Warrior, Dark Knight. Yeah, that seems good to me. And I'm willing to drop some things down. I'm willing to drop White Mage down. Yeah. So if I said I was going to play 6 jobs, I got 6 jobs up here. So maybe I don't know. We'll see. Reaper I didn't play. Summoner is one of my favorites. So Summoner is one of my favorite archetypes of job in Final Fantasy. I feel like it's pretty unique to the Final Fantasy universe. There's been tons of really cool summoners. Every game has really cool summons, pretty much. Maybe not all of them. Pretty much every one. Except for the first 2. I think basically from 3 onward, they always have summoners, and the summons are, or they don't necessarily have summoners, but they always have summons, and so like, and a lot of times they do have summoners, we're specifically supposed to summon, and like, so it's just a huge part of like the game and the lore. So I love that, and in this game it holds to that. Like, job quests let you go fight the summons and earn the summons, so that's really neat. And you get Bahamut. Once you hit 60, Summoner changes from this job that's kind of like meh to this job that's like awesome, and it feels really cool to play. It's simple. It's very simple, but that's fine. I like simple. So Summoner is definitely my favorite caster by far. Does it make its way into S? I don't know. I honestly, the thing is, if it was just Summoner pre-60, then I would say definitely not. But 60 onward, like, yes, it does. But you do have to queue random dungeons and play at the lower levels. And the other thing about Summoner is you're locked, your level matches Scholar. So I didn't even play Summoner from 60 on because I just played Scholar because it was easier to get XP in Scholar. And so, like, I feel like with Summoner, it's like, it's in a weird place. I kind of don't like, I mean, it's nice because you just get free levels. You know, you could just level Summoner for free. It's like, ultimately, I'll probably keep it in rotation because I won't have to expend any effort, really, other than doing job quests occasionally to keep it at a high level, as long as I play Scholar as my healer of choice. So it's like, you know, if I play Scholar as my healer of choice, even if I, you know, or if I wanted to keep up Summoner, I could just queue roulette on Scholar. But it's like, it's weird. I think it goes into A. I don't think it makes it into S for me because of the weirdness around it. I think I like it more than Astro, but yeah, that's kind of where it's gonna land. Okay, Dragoon. Dragoon is like one of the most aesthetically cool jobs in existence, but it's also one of the most mechanically dull, between 50 and like, yeah, basically between 1 and 69. It's just like, it's just kind of boring, and you have no AoE, and I hate having no AoE because it feels like there's a whole situation in which I'm useless that comes up really often, like half the time. And especially in the lower levels, it's just so awful. That being said, like, it's a cool job. I like the self buff. I like the raid buff. Like, the idea that you're basically keeping self buffs up on yourself to do your damage is fun and interesting. But, like, man, just not having AoE is such a deterrent to me. And, like, you have weaves, so the weaves are kind of fun. You have some movement abilities, so that's kind of neat. But they're awkward to use. Like, the jump backwards, where it always jumps you backwards no matter, like, what direction you're facing. It's like, that's weird. And then, like, you jump forward, and, like, it's decent range damage. It's one of the better range, like, ability to do range damage as a melee. But, honestly, if you want to do good range damage as a melee, just pick Ninja. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Ninja feels nicer. And then it just leaves Dragoon feeling like, I don't know, I don't feel like there's much place for it for me personally, so I am gonna put it probably bottom of C. Yeah, sorry Dragoon, but it's not, it ain't me. And then finally Dancer is like, Dancer is so easy, and you feel really strong, but it's almost too easy. Like, I'll probably keep Dancer around. If I ever really want to not focus, like, even a little bit at all, I can play Dancer. It's neat. It's definitely cool. Like, it's a very cool concept. It feels really nice. You get to do huge burst damage with your dances, with standard step. And you get to, like, just choose a person and give them a bunch of free damage, so that's fun. You know, I like support. Like, I like support elements, you know? Like, support via, like, buffing and stuff like that, right? Like, that's kind of more interesting to me a lot of times than just straight up only healing. That's kind of why I don't like healers all that much, but yeah, it's good, but is it, like, I don't know if it's, like, enough, like, engaging enough. I mean, yeah, I might still pick it as one of my 6 that I play because of what I mentioned before, and I want to have, like, the complicated ones that I focus on that I play, and then some of the easy ones that I play to just kind of relax, or new content, like if it's something I haven't done before. So it might end up being still in my little list, but I don't know if I want to, like, put it in quite an S for this. You know what? I will. I think it earned it. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the Fizz range, but I think it does get in there. And as I'm looking at it, let's see if I want to make any final adjustments. I think I'm willing to actually bump. No, I can't bump Astro down. I think it's fine. I think I feel like Scholar's maybe a little too high, because, like, I do like it more than the other healers, but I don't know if I like it that much more to where it should be way higher than them, like it is right now. I think I'm willing to put it. I ultimately don't like healing that much, so I'm gonna put it here. And none of the healers get into S tier. I think that's fair, because none of the healers are, to me, like, so cool and fun. But yeah, I don't know, if it's S tier, it's like very bottom of S tier. It's not that high like where it was. I think am I willing to create separation between Dark Knight and Warrior? Probably not. I'm, like, sometimes tempted to put Bard a little higher, but I think it's okay. Yeah. So ultimately, what we have is, I like these 2 tanks. I don't like these 2 tanks as much. I like tanking in general. Tanking's fun. Warrior is really fun. Dark Knight is really cool. It's not that fun, but it's cool, so that makes it fun because it's cool. I like Ninja because it's edgy. I would probably like Reaper I didn't play it, but I would probably like Reaper because you can see if it's edgy, it's like near the top for me. And Viper too. I don't know how edgy Viper is, but if it's edgy, then it's gonna get up here. But yeah, I don't know. I think I think having Ninja at the top, it's really surprised me. But I think, and honestly, before playing through a little bit of Stormblood, it definitely would not have made it there. I think I did this tier list not that long ago. Did the same thing, and Ninja was not that high at all. But I've been convinced on Ninja. I've been reconvinced on Ninja. I think it's one I want to keep playing. Yeah, and then obviously I like Fizz Range. I put every Fizz Range in S tier, so it's a good category of character. It's fun to play. Like, it's just so, like, you could stand anywhere you want and do all your damage and move as much as you want. Like, I don't know, that's just really good. That's really nice. Compared to, like, casters that have to... Like, Summoner is one of the casters that has to move, or has the most ability to still move while casting, which is why it gets above the other casters in my list. I don't like having to stand still. That's why Black Mage is so low, you know? I don't actually like having to stand still. I like being able to do a lot of AoE damage. I like being, like, flexible. And the Fizz Range just does that. It's, like, so much AoE damage, and you can run around a lot. You can get huge damage numbers, and, like, it's not that hard. So yeah, I think that kind of does it for me. But yeah, I'm gonna end my little stream here, and then I'll do some time on my own to think about what I actually want to play going forward, pick out my 6. But thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.